Good morning, everybody. 11 o'clock. We'll give it a couple minutes because we're probably going to have more people joining. So as we get ready to get started, anybody have any questions or exciting things happening right now? And Linda was the only one brave enough to go on camera with us, but she just went off camera, probably feeling uncomfortable since no one else. And anybody wants brownie points and eighth off your next deal, go on camera. We'll hook you up.
Oh, Marvin's the first to jump on it.
Oh, Marvin just hooked his pricing up for his next loan. We got you, bro. Okay, guys, we're gonna try to be mindful. Oh, Linda wants some pricing love also. She's coming back on camera, so that's good. Okay, we are going to get started. I'm sure we'll have some stragglers. We always do, so we'll try to kind of drag it out for a minute here before we make it to meat and potatoes. But before we dive in, just a quick intro. My name is Jason Twiford. I'm your account executive with Orion Lending. With me, I have got Todd Pierce and Dylan Johnson, who both work on my team. Fantastic support for you collectively. They will be assisting. Dylan's going to handle the chat. Todd is like our tech guy who makes everything happen for us. But if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and just ask. We would love to make this more interactive. Now, if we've had some people that take that a little too far, and then we have to mute you up. And so we just will apologize if we are forced to mute you. But if you have questions, like I said, please feel free to ask. We're going to be touching on down payment assistance today. That is the topic of the training. To give you a quick overview, a little bit about myself, the team, some of the benefits to working with Orion Lending, and then we will dive into specifically an overview of our DPA programs. And I will tell you, not to let the cat out of the bag early, but I think we have the best menu of DPA product available in the country. We have everything. We are exceptional at it. We move it quickly and efficiently. We close these. And we do a very large volume of this business. So it's something that we can definitely partner with you on and help you expand your business and really help you leverage this to market this to your realtor partners. But that being said, let me just open it up real quick and see if anybody has any questions. Anybody? Questions to get started with? DPA, other subjects, anything mortgage, real estate related. Happy to answer those questions, and then we'll dive into the training of the day.
Hi, Jason. This is Carla.
Hey, Carla, how are you?
Good, thank you. Quick question. I think I joined one of your DPA trainings about a month ago, but
Yes.
I think the difference with this training was that you guys were going to talk about marketing the DPAs. Is that correct?
We're going to dive into how to market the DPA, how we can really, what has worked for other people. So we're going to go over the DPA in general, and then we're going to do a deeper dive into how to market it and sell it and put these deals together.
Got it. Thank you.
You got it. I got to move my camera. My camera covers up the entire chat. So I'm not trying to make myself look better. I'm just trying to read what's going on at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and get going. Again, my name is Jason Twiford. I'm your account executive with Orion Lending. My background, I've been doing wholesale lending for 33 years. It'll be 34 years in April. I've never left wholesale. I am nationally ranked by the Scotsman's Guide. I'm the #1 FHA producer in the country, ranked by the Scotsman's Guide, #10 overall producer. I've got a dedicated operations team with Orion, which really allows us to provide an exceptional level of service for you guys. You've got dedicated underwriting, dedicated account management. I've got the amazing resources of both Dylan and Todd who are on the call with us to help support you. You guys are welcome to reach out to any one of us at any given time. We're happy to help with anything that you've got. Some of the benefits to the partnership with Orion. One, something we do that's unique. It's really diving into TRID, but what we do that is different than most people, and that is we allow you to use lender credit to pay your origination fee on all of our programs, including VA. We are actually probably the only lender you work with that allows you to charge more than 1% on a VA borrower paid transaction. But as we talk about that, it becomes relevant on this DPA product because a lot of our DPA programs do offer lender credit. And we'll get into that in more detail, but we give you a full rate stack. Some of the city, county, state programs give you one interest rate, right? The program's available, it's at 7.5%, and that's all you get. We give you the full rate stack. You can get lender credit. You can use that lender credit to pay your origination fee. We have excellent technology. Some of our DPA leverages either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. We allow you to run a dual AUS. You can run Fannie and Freddie simultaneously, which is just going to expedite things and give you all of your options. And from marketing perspective, so Carla, you definitely want to take a look at that. We've got a marketing studio that as long as you've got login credentials with Orion, you have access to our marketing studio. Log in, we've got 200 plus flyers available in English and Spanish, highlighting every program we have, including the down payment assistance. We've got a lot that leverages the DPA. We also have, just listed, just sold, just closed, open house flyers, and our marketing is exceptional. It's very powerful. When you, for example, want to put together an open house flyer for you and one of your realtor partners, if you type in the address, it will interface with whatever the local MLS is, and it will actually pull the real MLS photos for that particular property. And you can select which photo you want to put on your flyers. It will pull the text narrative from MLS. It will allow you to use AI to condense that down into something that fits on the flyers. And you can co-brand almost every flyer we have with you and your assistant or your realtor partner, or really, quite frankly, whoever you want to put on the flyer with you. So we do have some exceptional resources available at no cost. All you have to do is log in and partner with us, be an approved broker. So before we dive into the DPA programs themselves, I'll open it up again. Any questions, anything anybody would like to touch on before we get moving forward? Nope. Okay.
I'm sorry, I have a quick question. This is Timberly.
Hey, Timberly, how are you?
I'm good. I look at you guys, Jason, always for the DPA programs. What else is your strong suit? My apologies for not ever checking for anything else other than that.
You know what? That is an excellent question, and I'm so glad you asked. I literally was just looking at a report. We have funded close to $15 million in jumbo business this month. Our jumbo pricing is excellent. So if you want to look at what we can really help you with, our DPA is exceptional. We are really, like, I can honestly say we are the best in the country at DPA. But my jumbo pricing is generally the top or right at the top. And we've got some incredible jumbo offerings, right? I've got 5 or 6 different jumbo programs. I've got AUS driven jumbo that has no additional credit depth requirements, for example. And we just closed a $1.7 million jumbo loan with no reserves because I have AUS driven jumbo. I've got more of your traditional jumbo product that is, full doc, W-2s, pay stubs, tax returns if we have any self-employed or rental income, that is priced literally like as good as it gets. So jumbo is good. We do a lot of government business. Like I said, I'm literally the #1 FHA producer in the country. Our FHA product is priced aggressively. More importantly, we understand how to close FHA business. We understand variable income. We understand how to manipulate variable income. We understand how to get your FHA loans to the finish line. VA is another really strong forte for us. We allow you to charge more than 1% going borrower paid. We give you all of VA's product offerings, meaning you don't just get kind of the vanilla stuff a lot of lenders offer. We allow you to use joint entitlement. We allow you to use co-signers. You can put the fiance on a loan. All of that is available. We just closed a transaction in a condo complex that was not VA approved. We got the entire project VA approved in connection with our loan. So VA is another area that we are incredibly well versed and aggressive. And our non-QM product menu is exceptional. We do a great bank statement program. I've got a P&L product offering that is literally P&L only, no bank statements to correlate or support the P&L, which is atypical. Most of the time, if you've got a P&L where they're making $50,000 a month in gross revenue, so the lender's going to want to see bank statements that show deposits of roughly $50,000 that match up to the P&L. We don't require any bank statements. We've got a 1099 only program. Our asset depletion crushes the market. We will take all assets. Your client does not need to be of retirement age, and we amortize those assets over 60 months. Whereas like Fannie, Freddie, most of our competition is at 360. So we can use that as supplemental income. That you may have a client that's a wage earner, or they're on fixed income, Social Security, pension, some type of retirement, but they've got a chunk of money sitting in a retirement account or in a brokerage account. I can use that and asset amortize that along with whatever the other income streams are. And our DSCR program is exceptional. Credit scores down to a 620. We have a true no ratio program. We pay lender credit with no prepays. So we have a lot to offer. Timberly, it's almost like I paid you to ask that question so I could plug all of that stuff really quick. So thank you. And hopefully that sparks some other areas where we may be able to partner with you. We're in loan service. We're in basically every pricing engine. Check us out. We don't want to make it just about pricing exclusively because I think we offer an exceptional level of service to go with really competitive pricing. So thank you, Timberly. Any other questions? I'll try not to be quite so long-winded so we can jump into the DPA, but any other questions before we get started? Okay, then we are going to jump into down payment assistance. And I will tell you, if you are in California, and everyone's afraid to go on camera, we actually did a training for our own internal staff. So I'm on camera all the time. I don't care what I look like. I could just be like... Makes no difference. You're going to see the real me. But no one goes on camera. We did a training to try to encourage people to go on camera. So like I would like to say, how many people are here in California, but, nobody's going to be able to raise their hand because they're just a blank screen. But, there's a lot of buzz on down payment assistance right now. And I will tell you with absolute certainty, it is the most talked about program and product we have. But it's not the most prevalent product that we do. But it is the one that gets all of the excitement and all of the buzz. Realtors get excited about it. And buyers, quite frankly, think they know all about down payment assistance and what it's all about. And it's the one thing that they ask for, even if they don't need it. So it's great that you guys are on the call. Dylan, there's a lot going on in the chat. You're taking care of the chat, correct? Okay. But I do see Jacqueline asked a question about an $80,000 DPA. Yes, they actually qualify. Our minimum loan amounts are $50,000, I believe, on conventional and $55,000 on FHA. So as long as we meet that minimum threshold, we are good to go on your DPA product. So that's exciting. But we're going to jump into the DPA that we offer. And we offer 3 distinctly different programs. I don't want to overload you guys with just reading the guidelines to you or anything of that nature. So I would like to have this interactive and a dialogue. So like I said, if you have questions, don't feel bad. You don't have to go in the chat. Just literally start talking and I will stop talking and we will dive into your question. But what I'm not going to do is go into each program and what it does and what it individually, why we would pick this over that. What I'm going to do is give you an overview of our down payment assistance programs. I'm going to encourage you, myself and the guys I have on this call, we're down payment assistance experts. We close 25 to 35 DPA transactions every month, if not more. And we know how to put these together. So what we would ask you to do is reach out to us and let's talk through your deal and we'll figure out which of our 11 DPA product offerings is going to be the best fit for your client and why we think that would be the best fit. And then any other alternative products that might be available. But diving into what we offer as a whole, I've got down payment assistance that utilizes either an FHA, USDA, or conventional first trust deed. Sorry, I catch the chat and it's just, I want to answer to everything, but I have to keep myself locked in here. So FHA, USDA, and conventional. Credit scores on our down payment assistance go down to a 600. Our DPA does not require your client to be a first-time home buyer, and our DPA has no income limits. We follow AUS, so FHA, we could go up to a 47 front end, 57 back end, no overlays. Conventional will go up to a 50%, or if you use LP and you could get it approved at a 50.3 or 50.4, we accept that. So it's very exciting in that respect. Because you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, because we have no income limits, you can also use non-occupant cosigners on our DPA transactions. For the most part, the only exception to that is if you're trying to go conventional at 97, Fannie and Freddie will not allow you to use a cosigner. So we follow agency guides on all of our DPA. And we often get the question, well, how do I know which program my client is eligible for? Your client's eligible for everything we have as long as they qualify for an FHA or conventional or USDA loan. And then it's just simply a matter of picking which product is going to be the best fit to maximize your client's situation. On our DPA programs, I have got Repayable product, which is a recorded second lien. They do make a payment on it. That payment is included in the DTI. I have got Forgivable product, where there is a recorded lien. It's a silent second, so there's no payment impacting the DTI. I'm not a huge fan of this product, even though we sell some of it, because your client is handcuffed to the first mortgage. And the first mortgage, let's just be real, DPA rates are higher than normal FHA and conventional rates. So the problem that I have with the Forgivable product is you're going to have a client that in order to have that second lien forgiven, the down payment forgiven, they've got to keep the first mortgage for anywhere from 3 to 5 years. And I don't like seeing people locked into it for that long. I feel like we can use this DPA product and leverage it to get your client in, but we should be able to get them out of it within 6 to 12 months and get them into the lowest available market rate loan. And we're going to walk you through how to do that as well. And then our flagship, most awesome product we have is a grant program. The grant is literally forgiven at the close of escrow. So when we talk about free money, this is the product. This is the program. So this product is free money. And it's somebody unmute yourself. As we talk about down payment assistance and we talk about your buyer's perception of down payment assistance, if you were to summarize in one word what the buyer thinks they're getting with down payment assistance, what would that word be?
Free money.
Marvin, dude, you're killing it today. 1, you're on camera. 2, you're coming up with the good stuff. Free money.
Zero cost.
It's not zero cost, but it can be.
I know that, but that's what they think.
Yes, that is what they think. But Holly and Marvin, you guys hit it. The word would be free. The borrowers think they're getting something for free. So if you have buyers that are in the marketplace and you've got realtors that you've been trying to partner with, I'm going to give you this analogy that I use, and it's kind of quirky, but I think it's really relevant. So if my wife gives me a grocery list and sends me to the grocery store, and the first thing on the list is bread, and I walk into the grocery store and I see a guy standing at a table with a sign that says free bread and a whole bunch of bread piled up. Okay, how many of us are going to go talk to that guy? Okay, probably all of us, because I'm sent here to get bread and you're giving away free bread. So I might have a list that says like buy wheat bread and they're giving away sourdough. It may not be the right fit, but I'm at least going to go ask and I'm going to inquire about the free bread. I think that's a reasonable analogy for everyone that is going to be going into the grocery. They're going to go look at the free bread stand. Even if bread's not on the list, they may still go talk to the free bread guy. If you've got buyers and you're advertising a product that is giving away free money, you're giving away the free bread. Whether they need the free bread or not, they may call you. And if they do need the free bread, they're going to call. because we've already established the consumer's perception of down payment assistance is that they're getting something for free. They may not know what it is, but that's why they're going to call. I've got clients that spend a lot of money on leads, and you can generate, in my opinion, just as many leads advertising down payment assistance because of the consumer's perception of DPA as you can paying for leads. And this is a free public service announcement for everybody on the call. We're going to help you blow your business up using our down payment assistance programs, and we're going to walk you through how to do it. So I've got Repayable, I've got Forgivable, I've got an exceptional grant program that is literally free money forgiven at the close of escrow. I've got 3.5% options and 5% options FHA, so it provides money for down payment and closing costs. We have got 1%, 2%, or 3% options on conventional, so it provides either 100% CLTV or gives them some additional money if they're just a little bit short. This product is available on SFRs, PUDs, condos, 2 to 4 units, and manufactured homes. And we offer our DPA conforming as well as high balance. And this is something that is huge. If you're going to do a video, which I'm going to encourage everyone here to do their video on social media, we offer down payment assistance to both permanent and non-permanent resident aliens. So obviously it's available to citizens, but with May of 25 being a really pertinent date, non-permanent resident aliens no longer being eligible for government insured like FHA, VA loans, the fact that we can offer DPA to non-permanent resident aliens is giving us a huge competitive advantage. And it is absolutely something that you want to go highlight and market. In addition to that, most of these products, we wrote the guides, we underwrite it, we fund it, and we service it. My turn times on our DPA match our turn times on FHA and conventional loans. So it's not atypical that I do a training for realtors and loan officers, and I ask, how many people love DPA? And in fact, I just did one last Thursday. I had probably 15 realtors in the room. How many people love DPA? Not a single realtor raised their hand. And I asked them, what is the main stumbling block you have? What is the main thing you dislike about DPA? And it was turn times. That was their overriding. They don't close on time. They're long. They're 45, 60-day escrows. And that's not atypical if you're partnering with any kind of a city, county, state, governmental agency that's providing down payment assistance. And we are none of those. So it is not atypical for us to close one. I mean, we've closed one recently, I'll say in the last 30 days, 11 days, 13 days. And that is upload to funding. That's not some weird manipulated timeline. That's from the time you upload it and send it to me until we send a wire to your closing agent and we fund that loan. So if turn times are a concern of yours, don't let them be. We are quick and we are efficient on that. In addition, we follow all agency guides. So we don't have, outrageous overlays. It's not atypical. I'm in California. We compete heavily with the state of California's program. And, minimum 640 to 660 credit score, DTI is between 45 and in some cases 50%. We follow AUS. You go to a 47 front end, 57 back end on your FHA business, 50% on your conventional. No questions asked. Give us a DU approval, we fund the loan. Seller credits are available, and that's a huge part of being able to close some of these DPA products, 3% conventional to 6% FHA. And we give you lender paid options on 2 of our 3 products. So you're able to go lender paid and in some cases cover your entire comp and still give the borrower additional credit toward closing costs. And I had a loan officer that called me and he was like, hey, I heard about this program. I don't believe it's true. It's funny how many calls I get where people just want to challenge me right out of the gate. I have an LE and I think it's fraud. These are all things that have happened in the last month because that is how good our product is. Literally, they called and they said, we were told you can do a down payment assistance with a 2-1 buy down on the DPA, and I can give my client a payment based on an interest rate in the 4s. And I said, yes, we offer that. I mean, I can help you. I can show you the pricing on it right now. And they were like, no one has that program. And I said, I know. I'm the only one. And they're like, no one has it. I mean, I'm like, well, I have it. And they're like, well, you can't even have it because no one has it. So it's funny how unique the product offering we have is and how aggressive it is. So in a nutshell, what we just walked through were the key bullet points on our down payment assistance. So before we shift gears and we talk about how to really market and sell this, do we have any questions on the guides and how it's structured or anything like that? We just open it up, unmute yourself. You don't have to go in the chat, just ask away.
I have a question, Jason.
I was counting on you, Carla, to give me some questions, so thank you.
Well, I have a client who is really interested in the DPA grant, but he is self-employed. I haven't run the numbers for him yet. I have to do that today. He
Okay.
is self-employed, doesn't have a W-2, and unfortunately, I believe in the past years, he has claimed little money, probably hasn't counted everything or too much expenses. Do you have any suggestions for a client like that?
Absolutely. So he's a normal borrower, right? That is self-employed. None of them want to partner with the government and pay tax, so they're going to write off everything they can. So these are all agency products. We have a couple of options and a couple suggestions. Number one, if we go FHA, you're going to need 2 years tax returns, and we will average the income. If you go conventional, we might have a little more wiggle room, Freddie in particular, to use 1 year of taxes if he's been self-employed for more than 5 years. And we're sitting at a time right now where borrowers can file their taxes. So either A, we use his 23 and 24 tax return, we average the income, we determine what his income is, and we find a cosigner. That would allow you to move forward immediately. Like day one, we could put him in escrow, put him under contract tomorrow. Because we follow standard agency guides with respect to cosigners. The other option, if he's been self-employed for 5 years or more, is that he doesn't, underreport his income and overstate his expenses and actually reports what he makes, files his 2025 return, and we put him on a Freddie Mac program going conventional with 1 year tax return, and I don't have to drag these past years of low income into a calculation.
Okay. There's options for him. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is where, between myself and Todd, we have over 60 years of experience in the business. Dylan is newer in the business, newer with us, but you bring us a problem, we will give you a solution. Now, you may not like the solution. They may not like the thought, well, I don't want to file those taxes because I don't want to pay tax. That's okay. Then find a cosigner, but we will give you options no matter what you bring to the table.
And he actually did find a cosigner, but I spoke with his cosigner and she doesn't have credit. She has W-2 income and she's a strong income borrower, but doesn't have any credit. So
is she an owner occupant or is she not owner occupant cosigner?
I'm not sure what their arrangement will be yet.
Okay, well, we may want to help them with their arrangement because conventional allows us to use a co-borrower as long as here's the problem. Our borrower has to be the primary wage earner. So there are options here where we can use alternative credit and bring someone in. This would not be my ideal cosigner because I'm going to give you a laundry list of items that we would potentially need. There is an option to put together a transaction with a cosigner with no credit, both FHA and conventional. Conventional is hands down my preference because there's no additional credit score or credit requirements, no alternative credit. You're priced off the representative score. So it prices off of his score if he's the primary wage earner. But the problem is he's probably not the primary wage earner. So we may need to just dig a little deeper to find the right cosigner. Or, another option is you could have a work in process where we add her to a couple of his trade lines. We build a credit score for her. If they're not in a situation where it sounds like they need to buy this week, this is a process we can take offline, but there's a way to structure this deal where we can either get her a credit score, bring her in as a no-scored co-borrower. We have options here, and we have some pretty good options that we could help you with.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions on the guidelines more specifically? Okay, come on. There's one question we always get. Nobody's asked about pricing. What does the pricing look like on this type of product? So, Todd, any reserves needed? Most of our programs follow AUS directly. Our Boost program does require 2 years of reserves, whether AUS asks for it or not. We do have some flexibility with that because it is an overlay. I've had those waived countless times. We've had it modified to 1 month or used gift funds for the reserves. But in most cases, we will not allow a reserve issue or lack of reserves to be something that would prevent us from being able to move forward on most of our products. Todd, would you pull up some FHA pricing for us? And we're going to walk through the pricing. So, oh, thank you, because I was just about to climb into my camera. So this is an FHA transaction. This is based on a 700 credit score. It is a typical type of borrower that we get. And we've got a handful of product that we generally use. So a lot of people might ask, why would we use a repayable product when you've got forgivable and you've got grant programs? And I can answer that in really one quick word: lender credit. When you look at the pricing that is available, this is a typical DPA buyer. Okay, we go down to a 600. This is somebody we plugged in at a 700. This isn't some crazy 780 credit score, but we give you a full rate stack. So as we get into working some of the strategy on this program becomes very prevalent. This is a 3.5% repayable second. That means that we're giving them the entire down payment as a second. They do make a payment on it. The terms on the second, the note rate is 2% above the rate on the first, amortized over 15 years. So then the question becomes, what rate do you use for the first? And that just depends on what your client needs for closing costs. For example, based on this scenario, a rate at 6.5 is paying 1.5%. That's 1.5% of lender credit in addition to covering the entire down payment. If you get up to, where'd you go, Todd? Let's go right back to where we were.
Wrong screen. There you go.
All good. If you look at 6.75%, okay, so that is above market. That's not where normal FHA rates are, but that's still a pretty darn good rate to be paying 2.5% in lender credit. That would effectively allow you to go lender paid on most compensation plans and cover your entire comp. And one of the concerns that most loan officers have is, how am I going to get paid if I'm using down payment assistance? And most DPA products do not allow you to go lender paid. They do not allow you to make your full comp. They have some kind of a restriction on it. Some of them are at 1%, 1.5%. We allow you to charge your full comp. If you bump this up to 6.99, we're paying 3.45, and at 7.25, we're paying 4.4. Now, again, that is in addition to the down payment. We could virtually close escrow for your client without needing any money brought into the transaction. So literally on a $400,000 sales price, we would cover their down payment plus give them $17,450 to cover closing costs. And I will tell you, if these transactions are structured the right way, it is not atypical that we refund the EMD back to your buyer at the close of escrow. It is not atypical that at the close, we do not have to have your borrower bring any money in to close, and we refund a portion of their EMD. And quite often, it is on this product, our Boost Repayable. This is not requiring any seller credit or any seller participation. Now, if you have the ability to bring in some seller credit, Todd, would you please scroll down to we'll take a quick peek at the forgivable so we can see the comparison, and then we'll jump into the grant program.
And Jason, I'm so
yes.
glad you mentioned that, because that was one of my questions. Sometimes there's buyers that they are strong income but don't have anything saved up and need money for the EMD, so they borrow for the EMD. So you're saying they get that EMD back at the close of escrow?
So we just
With the
closed a
repayable?
transaction. This is a real deal that we just closed. So if anybody is on with Equity Smart, this was one of your peers over at that company who called me on a transaction and said, I want to make sure that I've got this structured correctly. And it was the first loan I'd worked on with this individual loan officer, his first deal time working with Orion. And it closed from upload to fund in 13 days. And he had a unique situation with his borrower. His borrower was, had a family, was renting. And Carla, it is the exact scenario you're talking about. Good credit, good income, but he's in California and making $120,000 a year with a family at home. You're really living kind of paycheck to paycheck, and it's difficult to save. So he got a 60-day notice from his landlord where he was renting. He needed to move out, opted to try to buy a house instead of renting another home or apartment. And so he went through 5 realtors and loan officers asking for help before he came across Enrique, who was actually, they crossed paths on a social media video. True story, I swear to God. This guy had $3,000 in the bank. Right? He wanted to buy a house for $500,000. They said you have to have a $5,000 EMD. He didn't even have that. I don't know if it was 2 realtors and 3 loan officers or vice versa, but they basically said, we can't help you. Come back when you've saved money. And this individual saw Enrique's video where he was talking about being able to buy a house with no money. And literally, they connected. Enrique got in touch with me. We structured the deal. We put him on a grant program because the grant doesn't offer a significant amount of lender credit or potentially even any lender credit. It required seller credit. They found a property with seller credit and literally closed escrow. He had to borrow $2,000. Okay, we will pretend we're not having this part of the conversation. He had to borrow $2,000 from a family member to come up with his EMD. And we talked through at the beginning that he had to be able to get that EMD refunded at the close to be able to pay his family member back. And that is exactly what we did. So without going into more detail on what we shouldn't have been doing, we'll take that offline, Carla. But we were able to structure the transaction in a manner where he got his EMD refunded at the close of escrow and was able to use those funds as he needed to. So completely possible. We probably need to jump on a call and really do a deeper dive with your business and see how we can help you. But getting into this, so you'll see the big difference between the repayable. Obviously, it's they make a payment versus they don't make a payment, but you'll see a significant reduction in lender credit. Now, we get into that 699 that was paying 3.5, and 699 on a forgivable product is paying just under 1. But this product would require your client to keep that first mortgage at 6.99% and make 60 on-time payments on that before that second is forgiven. That's the part that I don't like. It's going to force your client to keep an above market rate. They're probably not going to. They're going to refi and they're going to end up paying this off. So if they're going to end up paying it off, then let's put them on a repayable program, put them on a really directed strategy to be able to pay it off in 12 months and give them a significant amount of lender credit to help them close escrow. But Todd, if you would please slide down to the Elevate Grant program. This is the product that if it was up to me, I would put every one of your customers on. This is the grant. This is the program where the second, there is no second, where the down payment is forgiven at the close of escrow. Your client needs to make 6 payments and then they're eligible to refi. And we'll talk about what the strategy is to get them out of this product as well. But what you'll see here is, you get up to 7.25% and it's paying 0.5% in lender credit. So 7.25 on my repayable product was paying 4.4%. We're giving up 4% in credit to put them on a program where we're giving them free money. This is the free bread product. So you can see a comparison here of what this pricing looks like. Now, let's talk about how we're going to partner. Did anybody have a question? Oh, I heard somebody. I heard noise. I got excited. I thought somebody was going to interact with me and I wouldn't have to sit up here rambling by myself. Let's talk about how you go market and sell this product. And what I like to do is kind of reflect on some real life experiences I've had. I had a loan officer that I would see, I do, you know, I love being in the field. I'm old school. I still drive around. I go to offices. I got an office down the street from my house where I've seen this girl show up at trainings for the last year and a half. She's showing up, and being present is 90% of the battle, in my opinion, in our business. So something was missing for her. She closed one loan last year. That was the extent of her production. We closed it with her. It was a VA loan. But I pulled her aside and I said, hey, you know what? Talk to me about what's going on with your business. You're at the trainings, you're involved, you seem to know the guides. Where's the disconnect, and why are you not able to generate more business? And she was like, well, I'm not really sure, but you know, I said, I tell you what, social media is a huge tool. We just started using it this year. I act like I've been doing it forever, but I really haven't. And we've had an amazing response. So I said, let me help you shoot a video on our down payment assistance program. I'm going to give you 4 bullet points. That's all you're going to talk about. She's like, oh, I'm totally uncomfortable doing that. I don't want to do it. Will you do it for me? I said, well, I'll do it with you. But then I thought about it and I'm like, I said, you know, I'm not going to do it with you because I'm going to sound like a really smart person on down payment assistance. And you're going to be like the sidekick just standing here. What I would rather do is, I don't care how many times we shoot this video, but we're doing it right now. You're going to make this video and you're going to post it. And no matter how crazy it looks, you're going to do this. And so we wrote out the bullet points, and it was basically like, hey, I can help you with down payment assistance down to a 600 credit score. You don't need to be a first-time home buyer. We have no income limits, and we work with non-permanent resident aliens. And that was it. She did a 20-second video. She's like, well, I'm going to edit it. And it terrified me because I thought that meant she was just going to delete it and not post it. She did an exceptional job editing the video, but she posted the video. And literally, I reached out to her a couple days later and I said, hey, this was on a Thursday. And I think I probably sent her a text on Monday or Tuesday. And I said, hey, did you get any response on your video? And she sent it. She had already sent me the video and it looked really good. And she said, I actually had 2 realtors reach out to me and I've already pre-qualified a borrower because of that video. Guys, DPA is free bread. Post videos on the DPA. I am not kidding. To emphasize that, I literally walked across the hall. I got another customer, and it is the kindest, like 70-year-old Pakistani guy. He is awesome, and he does a fair amount of business. But he you know, had asked, how can I grow my business? And I said, do a DPA video. He said, will you come in and help me? So we made an appointment. I came in the next day, and he couldn't even get the video out. I'm so glad he's not on the call. He then filmed it a couple of days later and sent it to me. And he said, what do you think? And I mean, I was like, Jay, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 1. Like, it's horrible. But I said, but the key is you're out there, post it. It is hands down the worst video I've ever seen posted by anyone in our business. But he has called me and said he's gotten 2 leads off of his video. So I'm telling you, if you feel like you can't film a video, I have seen worse. Film the video and post it. And I guarantee you will get results. Now, Todd, if you would drop the screen share, we'll see if anybody else is brave enough to come on camera. Do any of you sell real estate as well? I mean, we have a lot of people in our business that are doing real estate and loans. Anybody have any listings? Okay. Shakita, what is your list price? Do anybody have any listings right now? And if so, what's the list price? Because what we're really targeting, and you talk about wanting to grow your business and leverage this, partner with realtors and sell this to realtors. So number 1, go consumer direct, put your videos on your social media. But another true story. I've got a client that has a mortgage company, but they also own about 120 Century 21 franchises. So we do a lot of in-person training with a lot of realtors specifically on this program because we have figured out how to sell this. So Dwayne, 926 is really, we do high balance, but it's not a great fit for DPA. Okay, but Shakita, you've got a 379 single family, perfect. I went into this training and here's what we did. Okay, anybody have a listing? And one guy raises his hand. I said, all right, what's your list price? He said, $525. I said, that's perfect. We're in Southern California. That fits any county's FHA loan limit. How long has it been on the market? It's like 45 days. Okay. Most of us are in areas where homes are sitting on the market longer. And if you get a home that's on the market for 45 to 60 days, what starts to happen? Anybody want to jump in and share what happens? Where does the seller's mindset go when their house has been sitting for almost 2 months?
The listing goes sale. They say, what's wrong with the house?
What's wrong with the house? My listing is sale. What am I going to do? Carla, what is the normal thing that they do once they hit that stale listing point?
Price goes down.
Price
Boom.
reduction. So let's set the expectation. We've talked about this ad nauseum. We believe that it takes 4 to 5% to be able to close escrow on a transaction, even if we have down payment assistance and the down payment is entirely covered. That 4 to 5% is going to cover your title, escrow, prepaids, right? Your tax and impound accounts and loan officer compensation. And there's a variance depending on what time we're closing, the number of months of impounds, and how much the loan officer is charging. But 4 to 5% is generally the number, and 5% is really the number that I would target to always be safe. So 5% is a really magical number when putting down payment assistance transactions together. So I said, the property's been on the market 45 days. Your seller's getting a little bit freaked out, aren't they? And he's like, they sure are. And I said, what's the game plan? He said, we're doing a price reduction after this weekend. I said, okay, what are you dropping the price to? He said, $499. What instantly jumped into my head? 525 to 499. Dropping this price 5%. I said, I'm going to challenge you. So the loan officer that brought me in and the realtor, I said, I'm going to challenge the two of you. You're going to do an open house this weekend. I have all of the marketing material for you. I've got all the collateral you need. We will help you put it together. But you are not going to drop this sales price until after this weekend. And you were going to go put on your social media. So I said, the premise is we're going to leave the price at 425 or 525. Your seller is of a mindset that they will sell this house at $499, which means I've got $25,000 in seller credit that I can use. We're going to leave the price at $525. We're going to get a 5% seller credit. We're going to cover all of the borrower's closing costs. And your seller is still going to be netting exactly what they would have expected if the house sold for $499. All agreed? Yep. Said, okay, we're going to put the open house flyer together, but you guys each have social media. Yep. Okay. You're each going to go post videos and it's going to look something like this. You guys are going to post something and it's going to be quick and dirty and efficient. And that is it. You're going to say, hey guys, I'm doing an open house this weekend and I've got an amazing opportunity for you. We're doing an open house at 123 Main Street. I have got a down payment assistance program that is going to cover your entire down payment. I have got a motivated seller that is going to cover all of your closing costs. So if you can come up with an EMD, I will get it refunded to you at the close of escrow and I will help you buy this house with no money. And that was it. And they each posted it. And we helped them put marketing material together, all at no cost. You guys have access to all of this. And they had an overwhelming turnout at that open house. And they sold the property that weekend. And does anybody want to take a wild guess what the craziest aspect of that was? And how we talk about leveraging DPA to market your business, whether buyers need it or not. The craziest part of that was the buyer did not need a DPA and did not use DPA. But it was the interest and the excitement of the free. I mean, we could put them in a house for free. And if they were going to get 5% seller credit, we were going to put them on the grant where the entire down payment was free. So let's talk about how to market this product. You are going to market this to your consumers on your social media and your realtors, because you have realtors on your social media. You are going to offer, okay, we got mainly loan people on the call, right? We don't have a bunch of realtors because we can talk crap about realtors if there's no realtor. Realtors are lazy, right? They don't do open houses. They don't want to work on the weekends. I have clients that will close 3 to 5 transactions every month. And their only source of referrals and business is going to open houses. And whether they're realtors or loan officers, you don't have to be a realtor to go do an open house. I've got loan officers I work with where I have encouraged them, go do open houses. You don't need a realtor there, but if you've got the license, you can also be the realtor. And I'll tell you what, the listing agent doesn't care. I mean, they would love to double end it. They really don't care. If they could be sitting at home watching TV and you're selling their house for them and they're getting paid, they're okay with that. Reach out to realtors that have a listing, and we're going to be very specific with what we want to see. I want to see something that is in a good sweet spot conforming FHA loan area, right? So Dwayne had one, he's like 926. I'm like, that's high balance. We can do it and we can close it. But that is not what we want. If we're going to cherry pick what we want, we're picking the biggest, juiciest cherry. We're going to find an ideal FHA property. We're going to find one that's been on the market for more than 45 days because, as Carla said, it's getting stale. People are getting nervous and they're ready to drop the price. And we're going to leverage a strategy where we're not going to drop the price. Where this doesn't work, you don't get to lowball them and ask them for 5% in seller credit. So you've got to keep in mind, right? You get one or the other. We're going to target it where it's been on the market long enough that you can go in and ask for a significant seller credit. And I will tell you, I only have 2 people on camera, a couple people on the other page. But if I said, Jermaine, you're on camera, thank you. Your life depends on you getting a 5% seller credit. Can you go get a seller credit? Absolutely. I ask people regularly, can you get a 4 or 5% seller credit? Half the room raises their hand, yes. And I said, who cannot get a 5% seller credit? And the other half of the room raises their hand. And the crazy thing is, they're both right. Right? If I needed a 5% seller credit to close escrow to put food on the table for my family, I would go look for this specific property. It's been on the market for 45 plus days. Right? It may be listed at 500. I may need to offer 510 to get what I need, but I'm going to figure that out. And we can help you. We can do value checks for you. So if you're going to put this strategy together and you want to make sure that if you're going to go in and offer 510 and it's going to be supported, just send us the address and the value you need. We will have an actual appraiser help us with a value check, and we will assist you with that. But I would find properties, and there's a plethora of them in MLS, where they're the right spot for an FHA loan. They've been on the market for 45 days. You feel like you could go in and ask for that large credit, and then call the realtor. If Carla was the realtor, even if I don't know Carla, I see you got this property at 123 Main Street. It's been on the market for 45 days. I would like to partner with you and go do an open house. And if you're not available to an open house, I'll do it for you. And if you guys, so Carla's saying, what if we don't have access to MLS? Ask one of your, everybody knows a realtor, even if you want to target different realtors, ask one of your realtors, hey, give me a list of properties in this city, in this price range, and sort it by the number of days on market. And you can very easily target exactly what you're looking for.
I love it.
There we go.
Participation. That's what I mean.
I
Yeah.
love it. And that's honestly, that's why we like to do these open trainings, because we get people working together that may have never crossed paths and may have never worked together. But figure out what that property is, or go into one of your realtors or a real estate office you see on a regular basis. And they always have a board with all their listings. And I would just go down and I would cherry pick the best 1 or 2 and say, hey, Carla, let's do an open house this weekend. I'll put some flyers together. We're going to go in. I've got a down payment assistance program that if we can get a 5% seller credit, I will get a free down payment for the borrower. The seller will pay all their closing costs, and we're going to blow this thing up, and we're going to have the busiest open house you've seen in the last 12 months. And I will guarantee you it will work. We have had countless success stories of people putting this together, putting this strategy together. Where's the sweet spot on DPA? FHA conforming loan amounts. Really, anything that is the base loan amount is going to be FHA conforming, because once we jump into high balance, you see a 2.5% price adjustment, and that eats up a lot of the lender credit and the benefit. So we offer it, we close a handful of them, keep it at a conforming loan amount. And Dwayne, you're local here, close enough, man. Whatever help you need, we are going to jump in and dive in and partner with you on this. Something else that works really effectively, and you see these like November every year when somebody's running for office. In the office, you know, when somebody's running for any kind of political office, those yard signs, they're like 10 or 12 bucks each. And it's just the metal frame, two-sided. You go get them printed up. I have had people get so many phone calls, make some yard signs, especially if you're going to do an open house. Your realtor has their sign out. Say, hey, I'm going to bring a sign that's going to advertise this financing. And you can make that yard sign that says, you know, buy this house with no money down. Buy this house, you know, down payment assistance available. I've had a client that made it said, you qualify for this home and you don't even know it. You know, free down payment. Anything you want to say, and for $12, you go stick that in the yard while you're doing an open house. Or if you have realtor partners that have listings that fit this, and you're not even doing an open house, call them up and be like, Dwayne, you've got a listing on Main Street. I want to go stick a sign advertising my DPA there. I have never had a client say a realtor said no. Guys, there is so much opportunity to market this product. And I will tell you, we have had exceptional things happen. We have had a deal get uploaded on a Monday and fund on a Friday. It was a DSCR. We marketed that to our 5,000 loan officer database. You know how many responses we got? Like 2. We have quite often the best pricing in the industry. We market that. We get like 3 people that respond. We advertise down payment assistance. We get blown up every time. So some great strategy. We're coming up on an hour. Let me open it up for Q&A on anything we've talked about, any marketing questions you have, how we can help you, how we can partner with you, and what we can help you do to grow your success.
Jason, it's Timberly again. Can you tell me where you go in your site for your marketing stuff, your open house stuff and all of that?
Absolutely. So when you log in, and I don't know, Todd, you want to pull one up? When you log in, your main pipeline, your main home screen, there's going to be like right up here, it's just going to say Marketing Studio in gold, highlighted in gold. Click on that. The first time you log in, take the time to, right up there, marketing. And then you enter the Star Marketing Studio, and you can search by product. You could type in the search DPA, but the first time you log in, take the time to input your information, your headshot, your company logo, anything that you would want. So that way, every time you log in, it's already populated and you are set and ready to go. And any flyer you click on, it will auto-populate all of your information so you see what it looks like. And let's say you want to do a couple different flyers for different realtors. I've got a client that'll just make 10 or 15 flyers for a realtor on an open house, and then just go take them to the realtor, and he co-brands it with his information as well, which is brilliant. But when you do the same with one of your realtor partners, you put in their name, their email, their phone number, their address, their company, blah, blah, blah. It will save them. So then 3 months down the road, they say, hey, Timberly, that was a great flyer. Why don't we go do another open house? You've already got their information in. You just say, okay, I want to do this with myself, and I'm going to do it with Dwayne. And it creates your flyer in a matter of seconds. Now, this is the $1 million tip of advice. Stop right there, Todd. See how this flyer says Boost DPA? Anything that has our name, one of our program names in it, change it. When you click in a flyer, it allows you to literally go and edit any word, any field, anything that's in there. And I have literally had people that have called me and said, hey, I saw information on one of your programs on somebody's Instagram, or I picked up a flyer at an open house, and I'd like to get my loan officer set up with you. Okay, I don't want, if you've taken the time and we partner, I do not want someone cutting you out of it. So I always ask them, I'm like, whose information did you know, whose Instagram was it, or whose flyer was it? And I don't remember. They never remember, right? Which I know is not the truth necessarily, but they want to work with their loan officer, and they want their loan officer to have access to the product you have. And I value the relationships I build with our clients, and I do not want you getting cut out of it. So just little tidbit. Edit my flyers to take anything that says Boost, Aurora, or Elevate out. It doesn't say anything about Orion, but they did leave the program names in there. Thank you very much, Todd.
Jason,
Yes.
I use Orion's marketing tools all the time. I've added my 3 realtor partners. It's amazing. I love it. I love using all the marketing programs. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing a showing tomorrow and Friday. I have the flyers ready. It's awesome. You mentioned something really cool earlier in the beginning of the training about MLS and using pictures straight from MLS and putting it
Yes.
in your flyer, something like that. I've
Yes.
never heard of that before.
It's on the open house flyer. It's an interactive flyer that when you type in the address, it will pull the data for you. Or you can input the MLS listing number. Either one. Address is going to be much easier for most people. But it's
Wow.
powerful. Go to it's the open house flyer specifically that leverages that technology.
Okay. I'm gonna try that today. Thank you.
You're welcome. And hey, thank you for sharing your experience with our marketing. Guys, we have amazing resources available to you at no cost. Not enough people use them. Please take advantage of it. Marvin, you went on camera, man. We owe you 1/8 of a point on your next deal. Do you have any questions we can answer for you specifically on DPA or anything else?
No, I'm gonna get up with Todd. I might have a case for him. We can chat about it later on.
Okay, excellent.
I appreciate you though. You did help me with a deal earlier this month.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for your partnership. Letitia, was this recorded? Yes. And I believe that everyone that is on the call will get an automatic copy of the recording. Feel free to share it. You probably don't want to post it. You blow your social media up, send it to your company, have them post it. We also have a YouTube library with all of our recorded trainings on it. And you're welcome to go there. If you ever get our social media, like it, share it, repost it, do something with it that helps us. All right, guys, any other questions that we can help you with? Anything else, any scenarios that we would like to touch base on? Oh, okay, guys. Well, thank you very much
Chiquita
for
just
joining.
asked a question. I figured we'd just answer it like this instead of typing it. She asked if we can use this in Florida. Our DPAs are available in all 50 states. Washington State has a couple weird restrictions, but other than that, all 50 states, we are good to go with DPA.
Yes, and we love Florida. We actually do a lot of DPA and a lot of business in Florida. We're very familiar with that market. We're very familiar with your Hometown Heroes DPA product that we compete against. Have they run out of money yet? I think it's been out of money for a long time. It's one of those state programs. It's a great program, but you got to be a first-time home buyer, low to moderate income, and they only have a certain allocation of funding and they run out really quickly. So just to clarify a couple things like Dylan brought up, our DPA product is available nationwide, all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. We are good at it in all 50 states. Like I said, turn times are quick and efficient. And we don't have a funding allocation. We don't run out of money. We don't have a certain amount of money that is earmarked for our DPA. If you bring us DPA, we fund it. And we have no limitations in that respect. So it's a very exciting product for us. We do a lot of business on this program. Yes. Ladies, you have a question. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Yeah. Hi. You
Hi.
mentioned Hometown Heroes. They do still have funds, and one client wants to use it. What is the difference? What is the benefits versus the Hometown Hero?
So I will say Hometown Hero is your typical governmental DPA product funded by the state of Florida. Your client has to be a first-time home buyer. Your client has to meet the income restriction. It is more DTI restricted from what I understand, and there is a limitation on funding. So while it may have funding right now, it's not going to have funding indefinitely. Our products, you do not need to be a first-time home buyer. You have no income limits. You can bring in, co-signers. We follow AUS on the DTI. So we give you expanded ratios where your borrower is going to qualify for more house than what they would normally qualify for under Hometown Heroes. And I've got either my repayable product that will provide a significant amount of lender credit to help your client close escrow, or I've got my grant program where we literally give them free money at the close. And as we talk about the grant program, they only have to keep that loan for 6 payments. So if they go FHA or conventional, we can refinance them after they make 6 payments. If you bring the loan back to us, we waive your underwriting fee. This is the only product in the marketplace from a DPA perspective that uses an FHA first, where you can do a streamline. No other program will allow a streamline on a DPA product. And when you bring it back to us, we're servicing this loan. So I will net your impound account, which means I subtract what's in the tax and the insurance impound account from the payoff, decreasing the payoff. Oh, thanks, Carla. So it basically dollar for dollar minimizes the cash to close for your borrower. So we're going to give you the strategy to get your client in on a DPA, knowing that this is a Band-Aid loan, but we're also going to walk you through exactly how to get out. So compared to Hometown Heroes, we give you, in my opinion, now it's not a bad program. Don't get me wrong. It's just not for everybody. So you bring in somebody that's a higher income earner, lower credit score, higher DTI, they're not going to qualify for Hometown Heroes. They're also not going to get free down payment or 4+% to help with closing costs. And we give them an exit strategy to get out of it after they make 6 payments.
Jason, that's only
Okay,
on
thank
the grant, right? So if
The
you're
grant-
doing a second, we don't have an exit strategy. This, right? Because
Well, we
you're
still
going to
have
be
a really
maxed
good
out.
we still have an exit strategy. So if you go on a repayable, let's say you put them on a repayable second.
Okay.
HUD requires when there's DPA with a recorded lien, you've got to keep the property. You can't do a new FHA loan for 12 months, which is okay because you've got to be in the property for 12 months to use new appraised value. But the exit strategy for somebody that takes a second lien product would be to have them make the 12 payments, hit the 1-year anniversary. Hopefully we've seen a modest, 2 to 2.5 or 3% appreciation in the property. And we can certainly help you with the value check on that. And then we can do a rate and term refinance, because it is a purchase money second. We'll do a rate and term refi to 97.75% LTV, paying off the first and the second. So again, if we get a 2 to 3% appreciation and I can waive your underwriting fee, net the impound account to decrease cash to close, we generally, with that modest appreciation, can get somebody out of a DPA transaction at that point.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, team?
Dwayne was asking to have his VA priced out. Dwayne, do you want us to bring it up on this screen right now and go through it, or?
What's ever easier for you guys? We could do it off to the side if you want.
We'll give you a call, Dwayne. I don't want to keep everybody tied up.
Okay,
Andre.
that works.
Or type, you know what, Dwayne, type the scenario in the chat and we'll price it and then we can pop it up. Andre, you've got a question.
Yes, I got I've never done a DPA and I want to go for it this month. Give me 5 things to do to close the deal by the end of March. What do you want me to do?
Go advertise it on all of your social media. Advertise that you can do DPA down to a 600 credit score. So if you want to write these bullet points down, 600 credit score, and this is for everybody. You want to go market this? I do DPA down to a 600 credit score. You do not need to be a first-time home buyer. I have no income limits, and I can lend to permanent and non-permanent resident aliens and help you close escrow with no money out of pocket.
Okay.
That would be number 1. Number 2, contact your 5 or 10 best realtors and let them know that you have an amazing down payment assistance program. Andre, where are you located geographically?
I'm in Rancho Cucamonga.
So am I. Really?
Yes.
So am I. Okay, so we're not going to do DPA in Rancho Cucamonga. We know
Right,
that.
right, right.
You
Maybe
head east.
Victorville. Maybe
You
Victorville.
go east and you are going to crush DPA. Let your realtors know and look, schedule some open houses up High Desert, Hesperia, Victorville, Apple Valley. That is a prime market where people are just sitting there on homes where you can get that 5% seller credit. Go out to Phelan. What's the other place that's down the hill? Hesperia? No, Hesperia is up the hill.
San Bernardino.
But that whole
Colton.
area, we do such a volume of business in that market. It is amazing. So you're in a really good spot to be able to pick up jumbo business in Rancho and go do DPA business, 30 minutes away. So target that and schedule 2 or 3 open houses in properties that are in a $500,000 to $600,000 price range that have been on the market for 45 days. Talk to the listing agent. Andre, what company are you with?
Loan Factory.
No kidding. Oh, dude, right on. I'm like, we haven't talked before. I'm like, dude, I've never talked to anybody. I've got a lot of clients in Rancho, and I was like, I don't recognize your name. And so awesome.
Yeah, I really haven't been doing anything in the business, so I'm trying to really get started here.
Well, listen, you've got my contact info.
Yes.
If you ever want to I've got an office right down on Foothill. You ever want to swing by, come in, we'll sit down, tell me who the realtors you work with are. Like, I can help you schedule some DPA, put some stuff together. But do some open houses, because at the end of the day, if you're leveraging this product and you're getting buyers to call you and you're getting buyers to come through these open houses, if they come in and it's like, well, here's what the terms look like DPA, here's what it looks like if you put your own 3.5% down. It's amazing how many people that have no money all of a sudden have 3.5% when they see that they can save $150 on their payment.
Right.
For the buyers that truly have no money, we have an exceptional product. But that would be the strategy I would use, Andre. I would do a post today. I would go call your realtors and let them know you have a product that will help them move their stale listings today. And then I would schedule some open houses, reach out to us. We'll help you put some flyers together and we will get you moving in the right direction.
Okay. I will definitely do that. And
it's a small world.
I'll give you a call, and come in and meet you at your office so I can, make sure I'm on the right track.
100%. Dylan's there all the time. Todd is remote up in Washington. I'm sitting in my home office right now because what you're looking at over Dylan's head is what my background looks like. Here, it's at least, it's my real stuff.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. Anybody else in Rancho? Come on by. We're off Foothill.
Okay.
Hey, Jason,
Yes.
Timberlake again, sorry. The 600 FICO score, is that got to go through the DU and get a DU approval for that to be acceptable?
No,
DU or LP?
we will do manual underwrites we won't do manual underwrites on the conventional, but we'll do manual underwrites on any of our FHA based down payment assistance. So we follow HUD guidelines. As long as you meet the criteria for a manual underwrite, we'll do it on a DPA transaction down to 600.
Okay.
This is my favorite part, guys, where we get to really just talk about how we can help you grow your business. So please, if you've got any questions, thoughts, ask away.
And pricing is pricing. So if I have someone with this $10,000 seller credit and we're interested in getting the lowest rate possible rather than, maybe using it toward cost or whatever, the rate sheet is the rate sheet. There's nothing off price, right?
No, and generally we provide the floor rate. So let's say you had a massive seller credit and you wanted to buy down to 5%. It's not an option. Generally 6.5 is going to be the lowest we will go. But again, if we know that, we can set it up in a strategy where, especially if we can put them on the grant program, they're only going to make 6 payments. And we want to leave them in an area where it gives us a lot of flexibility to be able to drop down and give them that net tangible benefit when we streamline them and get them out of it.
Yep. Makes sense.
And keep in mind, if you do have some of that excess seller credit, I also do a 2-1 or a 1-0 buy down. So even if they're at 699, I mean, they could be making a payment at 5.99% for the
Right.
next 12
right.
months.
And you can do that 2-1 on all the programs or just the Boost? Can you do it on all of them?
It's available on Boost. I don't, you guys know? Boost is
Boost
generally
only.
the one what's that, Dylan?
It's boost only.
Boost only.
And Boost only is the payback, right? The second payback? Okay, all right.
We've got
So
a
it's not on, it's
repayable-
not on the grant.
Well, Boost is repayable and forgivable, but there is recorded second lien. The
Yeah,
grant is
I
the
don't want-
Elevate grant program.
Okay, all right, all right.
Okay, guys, what else do we have? All right, we're down to one page and no more information in the chat. So, okay, it's kind of like when you're in the ER, we're about ready to call it. 12:16, time of ending the call. We're not going to call it anything more morbid than that. All right, guys, we're going to end the event unless anybody has, I just bid on something in an auction. It was kind of, I mean, I really did not do a good job of my bidding strategy, but going once. Okay, any questions? Going twice. Nope. All right, guys, we're going to end it. Call us, get credentials, send us an email if you want credentials. We'll get you into our pricing engine. We will get you into our marketing studio, and please take advantage of it and let us help you grow your business. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.